He pretended to have amnesia and deceived Grace for 7 years, treating her like a plaything. Grace faked her death and moved far away to Africa. When he learned the truth, he followed her to Africa, seeking reconciliation, but she rejected him before he died. He asked Grace to end his life with her own hands. After reading his letter of repentance, Grace crumpled it up and threw it away. Marcus fiercely kissed Brittany. "You're a real temptress, driving me crazy." Brittany glanced at Grace, then deliberately arched her pale neck, flaunting the red marks there. She writhed even more vigorously. "Marcus, you're truly incredible. You did me 8 times today. Can we go again later?" Marcus's face hardened. "You can leave now, she's coming." I stood in the shadows by the door, letting the pill bottle dig painfully into my palm. Only when their heated encounter ended did I step inside. When saw me, he frantically straightened his shirt. Afraid I'd noticed something amiss, he pulled me into a tight embrace, kissing my forehead. "Honey, when did you get here? Why didn't you call me so I could pick you up? I haven't seen you in so many days. I've been missing you like crazy. I just arrived. I didn't want to bother you, thinking you might be busy." His words just now were like a bucket of ice water, extinguishing all my passion. All the efforts I'd made until now felt like a joke. One of the guys across from me slid a box of unused contraceptives towards me, smiling lewdly. "Grace, shouldn't you patch up the captain properly? He says you often relieve his stress after missions." My blood ran cold. I was utterly mortified. So that's how Marcus usually talked about me to the team. Seeing that I didn't move for a long time, they grew impatient. "Come on, stop acting so innocent." Their voices abruptly cut off. Marcus kicked the leading teammate to the ground. "Damn it. Don't slander me here. Show some respect to your Grace. Every single one of you, get over there and apologize." I looked at him, and for some reason, all the questions I had, thousands of them, condensed into just one sentence. "It's fine. I don't care." I didn't even care about him anymore. When I seemed unhappy, Marcus grew anxious. "Being angry isn't good for your health. How about I sing for you?" Marcus sang love songs to me for 2 hours, until his voice was hoarse. As the last song finished, the lights in the private room suddenly extinguished. With only a single beam shining on me, Marcus knelt on one knee, pulling out a ring to propose to me. My heart gave a sudden lurch. This ring, I had waited 7 years for. He was finally willing to marry me. Marcus carefully lifted my hand, but his breath hitched when he saw it clearly. He had forgotten that I had a severed finger when he was held captive by the enemy. I severed my ring finger with my own hand to save him. I forced a bitter smile and pulled my hand back, but he held on tightly, lowered his head, and devoutly kissed my severed finger. Guilt and remorse were clearly etched on his face. Even his voice trembled. "I'm sorry, honey. I failed to protect you. From now on, I swear I'll protect you with my life. I'll never let you get hurt again. After I complete one more mission, let's get married, okay?" The wish I had longed for day and night was finally coming true. Yet I couldn't feel happy. I simply stared blankly out the window, forcing a change of topic. "It's raining outside. Could you take me home later?" Even if you didn't say it, I'd still take you. I promised to pick you up and drop you off for your entire life. Marcus's voice always had a way of turning ordinary words into solemn vows. It made me drown in them, unable to discern truth from lies. The next second, his phone vibrated. The screen in the darkness was exceptionally glaring. "Marcus, will you come find me to play later? I just specially changed into your favorite black stockings. I also took something to enhance your pleasure. I guarantee you'll be in ecstasy." Fine beads of sweat broke out on Marcus's forehead. He was clearly aroused. He quickly put away his phone, his breathing rapid and hurried. "Honey, the boss needs me for something. How about I have them take you back later?" His promises from moments ago vanished into thin air. I smiled indifferently. "It's fine. Go do what you need to do." When the banquet ended, before I could even speak, the teammates scattered like they were avoiding the plague. "You want to be our Grace? I advise you to give up on that idea right now. You're just the captain's dog. A cheap thing he can beckon with a finger to make you give him everything." I had no desire to retort. I only heard from the walkie-talkie I carried. Marcus, breathing heavily, commanded in a domineering and fervent voice, "Put on this ring and touch me, imitate her voice and call my name." Rain fell on my face, and for a moment, I couldn't tell if it was rain or tears. Only when the captain sent me a message did I snap back to reality. "Everything's arranged. Remember to submit the application." I reminded myself over and over again in my mind. Only 3 more days until I could leave him. The hotel was in an out-of-the-way location. I couldn't get a taxi at all. By the time I got home, I was completely drenched. I hadn't expected Marcus to arrive home before me. He had showered and even deliberately changed into a collared shirt. Clearly trying to cover something up. Seeing me drenched, he grew terribly anxious. "Honey, how did you get yourself into such a state?" "Didn't I tell? Chris dropped me off. The car can't drive into the courtyard, so it's normal to get wet." Marcus didn't press the issue further. Afraid that I'd catch a cold if he delayed, he quickly ran hot water and carried me in for a warm bath. He had a habit, fearing I might slip and get hurt while bathing. He would always wait just outside the door, ready to assist me, after my bath. He even brewed me some ginger tea. All the firsts in his life were about me. His first time cooking, his first time washing clothes, even his first time on a mission willing to give up his life to protect me. I never doubted his sincerity, but sincerity, however, can change in an instant now. No matter how kind he was to me, I only felt a heavy burden. From the moment I arrived home until I went to sleep, Marcus didn't let my feet touch the ground. "Sleeping in clothes isn't comfortable. Do you want me to help you take them off?" He reached out to help me undress, but I turned away, avoiding him. "It's fine. I'm used to it." He never allowed others to defy him. Yet he was willing to be patient for my sake. "I'm your husband. What part of you haven't I seen before?" Marcus especially liked my back. He thought it was smooth, delicate, and pleasing to the eye, but he didn't know that to earn money for his medicine, I rushed to take the most dangerous S-rank missions. My once flawless back was now covered in knife scars and bullet holes. There wasn't a single patch of unblemished skin, only shocking disfigurement. I didn't want him to know, so I pressed my lips together and remained silent. His face darkened, and his tone became sharp. "You weren't like this before. What, is there something shameful on your back that you can't let me see? Grace, I'm warning you, you can only have me as your man. Don't play any tricks behind my back." That night, I woke from a nightmare to find the bed empty. From the darkness, a woman's ambiguous gasps could be heard. "Marcus, I've noticed the angrier you get, the more excited you become." Marcus kept his voice very low. "Shut up, if you wake her. I'll kill you. If she weren't sick, and I couldn't bear to touch her, you wouldn't be involved at all. I've told you before, I only love Grace." Brittany deliberately imitated my voice again and asked him earlier today, at the private room entrance, "I heard you say you wanted to marry her. Is that true? When do you plan to?" Marcus's breathing grew heavier. Before the words soon had even fully left his lips, he let out a cold snort. "I'll definitely marry her. As for when, that'll be after I'm done playing." The darkness amplified the sounds of their intimacy to the extreme, reverberating in my ears. I desperately pressed the pillow over my ears, telling myself not to listen. My tears soaked a large patch of the pillow, and my heart ached almost to the point of suffocation. I didn't sleep a wink all night. When returned, he slept exceptionally peacefully. When I woke up in the morning, Brittany had sent me a message. "Marcus bought me new clothes. Don't you think they're pretty? He had me a full 7 times last night. You really have no appeal to him. You're practically suffocating him. No wonder. He said seeing you makes him sick." The pink pajamas in the accompanying picture stung my eyes. This was Marcus's birthday gift to me. He liked pink, but I didn't. He tried to persuade me to wear them many times, but I always refused. I never expected him to turn around and give them to Brittany. My birthday gift had become their prop for pleasure. It was both tragic and ridiculous. A hot hand beside me forcibly opened my palm, intertwining our fingers. I turned my head, meeting Marcus's gaze. The corners of his eyes were red, and he seemed a little wronged. Honestly, I found him increasingly inscrutable when I woke up and realized I wasn't holding your hand. "I thought I had made you angry yesterday and that you didn't want me anymore." A bitter feeling welled up in my heart, but I forced a smile. "How could that be?" "That's good. I knew you'd never abandon me." Marcus noticed my eyes, and his expression instantly tensed. "What's wrong? Why are your eyes so swollen?" "It's nothing. I had a nightmare last night and cried from fright." Marcus gently rested my head on his shoulder, a doting smile on his face. "Oh, you're still such a scaredy cat. It's always like this. One tear can scare me half to death, and a slight pout can keep me on edge all day. It's okay. What can I say? I like you, and I love worrying about you. I saw the poorly concealed red mark on his neck and deliberately asked, "Why is this spot on your neck red?" Marcus froze for a few seconds, then quickly recovered. His lying skills were already masterful. He showed no trace of guilt. "A mosquito bite last night. When you're on missions, make sure to take good mosquito prevention measures. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. Are you hungry? I'll make you some noodles." While was making noodles, I took out my laptop to fill out the application for the support mission in Africa. In the duration of application field, I wrote permanent. I wanted to never see him again, not in this life or any other. "What are you doing so seriously?" "Let me see." Marcus's voice came from behind me. I turned the laptop towards him. "I'm writing a mission summary report. Do you want to write it too? If you're tired, I can do it for you. Eat first. Don't starve." Marcus put chili in the noodles. "I'm allergic to chili, but Brittany loves it. Love is in the details. If truly loved me, how could he have been with me for 7 years and not even remember that?" His love for me was the epitome of his acting skills. Marcus was afraid I'd burn myself, so he blew on the noodles bite by bite until they cooled before feeding them to me, before 2 bites were even taken. His movements grew agitated, and his Adam's apple bobbed rapidly. I knew Brittany had contacted him again. I took the bowl, my voice calm. "The probably needs you for something. I can eat by myself. You go ahead and take care of it, with my permission." He looked relieved, put down the bowl, and rushed out. Before he left, he secretly took my underwear. Afraid I'd get angry, he said to me, "Once I'm done with this busy period, I'll spend some quality time with you." Not long after Marcus left, I was suddenly racked with unbearable abdominal pain. I curled into a ball, cold sweat beading all over my body as I struggled. My phone fell to the floor. Reaching for it, I accidentally touched a dark web link from a medical team colleague at the base. Familiar gasps came from it. My mind went blank instantly. The 2 people in the video didn't show their faces, but their bodies were entangled, inseparable. Isn't this more exciting than an affair? "Don't I understand you better than your wife?" Brittany used a voice changer. "The grass is always greener on the other side. The one who isn't loved is the real other woman." Marcus's pleasure was a sharp blade plunged into my heart. The pain made me feel like I was suffocating. After successfully submitting the application, I threw away everything in the house that belonged to me. The next morning, Marcus finally remembered me. "Honey, the higher-ups just issued a temporary mission. As the captain of one of the units, I'll be leading this operation. While I'm gone, you need to take care of yourself." I hesitated for a moment. "Marcus, actually, this mission, I also, Marcus." "Thank you so much. If you hadn't pleaded with the boss for me, I wouldn't even be qualified to participate in this mission." A crisp smooch sound diverted Marcus's attention. He began to answer me dismissively. I wisely hung up the phone. If he didn't know, then he didn't. It didn't matter anymore anyway. For this mission, I couldn't expose my identity. I could only support Marcus from the shadows. Marcus was experienced and quickly found the best sniper point near the hideout. Everything was ready, but a growing unease settled in my heart. Boom! An explosion boomed from overhead, and the building began to shake violently. "We've been discovered. Retreat quickly." A huge rock fell directly above Marcus. Without thinking, I quickly rushed forward and pushed him away before I could even dodge. The massive rock crashed heavily onto me. Every bone in my body fractured, and even breathing became difficult. Marcus scrambled to his feet. Not even glancing at me, completely ignoring his own injuries, he rushed towards Brittany, who was not far away. He took her hand, about to lead her away. "Marcus, save me." My voice, processed by the voice changer, became even weaker, but heard it. "He stopped, Captain. I think I just saw Grace where." Marcus's voice rose several pitches in his anxiety. My consciousness was rapidly fading, but I desperately fought to stay awake. Finally, I waited for Marcus to turn around. He started walking towards me, but Brittany cried out, constantly pulling Marcus's hand back, once again drawing his attention. "Marcus, I'm so scared. I don't want to die here. Only 1 unit is on this mission. How could Grace, a medical team member, be here?" Chris must have been mistaken. The building swayed precariously, and Chris also panicked. "That's right, Captain. This building is about to collapse. Let's go." Marcus was the unit's explosives expert. He knew exactly how long the building would take to collapse given the power of the earlier explosives. He remained unmoved and tore off my mask. He saw my disguised face. He sighed in disappointment. "Too bad. You're not her." The smoke was mixed with white powder, making me instantly lose my voice. I still wouldn't give up. My hand, trapped outside the huge rock, desperately tried to grab Marcus's leg. Brittany suddenly shrieked, "Marcus, I've never seen her before. Could she be an enemy mole? She must have been the one who leaked our location." Her voice cut off abruptly. Marcus shot me clean through the hand. "Dying here is your fate. You shouldn't have saved me." I closed my eyes in despair, pressing the remote control in my hand. I detonated all the explosives beneath the building. Finding a way to die was the second objective of my mission, the life I owed him. I had finally repaid. After the mission, everyone celebrated that there were no casualties. Marcus was also impatient to vent his desires with Brittany. Just then, the base's broadcast sounded. Code 0327, Grace, no longer has vital signs. She is confirmed dead. Now playing her death replay. Bang! Marcus fired a shot directly at the broadcast speaker. The screen, about to replay the death video, suddenly went black. He lowered his head, his fists clenched tight, fingernails digging deeply into his flesh. His voice was terrifyingly grim. "What did it just say?" "Who died?" One of the guys, failing to grasp the situation, replied with a hint of schadenfreude. "Yeah, Grace is dead, Captain. You finally don't have to appease that dead woman anymore. Even if you hook up with hundreds, even thousands, no one can control you anymore. It's truly a cause for celebration." Hearing this, Brittany smiled triumphantly, clinging to Marcus's arm coquettishly. "So does that mean I can become your bride now?" "Marcus, when do you plan to marry me?" After a long silence, Marcus suddenly let out a sneer. He mercilessly shoved Brittany away. Then he punched the gloating guy from before, sending him crashing into the wall. He lifted the man entirely off the ground. "Who gave you permission to insult her like that?" "I'll say it again. Grace won't die. She can't die without my order. If she dies, all of you will die with her." It was a warning. Yet it also sounded like he was muttering to himself. How could she be dead? Didn't she just call me before the mission? It must be a problem with the base's life monitoring system. It must be. It absolutely must. My must still be waiting for me at home, like a good girl. I need to go home, home to find her. Marcus's eyes were bloodshot as he pushed aside everyone in his path, one by one. "My misses me. I need to go back and be with her." All the guys stood frozen in place. They suddenly couldn't understand him. There, who had always acted as if Grace meant nothing to him, had become like this. Brittany scrambled up from the ground and rushed to embrace Marcus. "Marcus, Grace is dead. It's true. No one will bother us to anymore. You don't have to keep up the act. Can I make you happy now?" "Fine." The next second, Brittany's scream echoed throughout the entire base. Marcus had brutally broken her wrist. A darker shadow fell over Marcus's face. "I'll say it again. Grace isn't dead. I left her alone for too long. And she's angry, deliberately testing me. And you. It's all your fault, you wretched woman. If you hadn't seduced me, how could I have not had time for her?" Marcus pushed the car to its limit, racing home to find me. He ransacked every corner of the home, searching every spot where I might hide during a game of hide and seek. He didn't find me anywhere. The towering man, so large and imposing, now looked like a child who couldn't find his way home. He stood helplessly in the living. He suddenly realized something was missing from the home. I was gone, and everything that was mine. Marcus racked his brain trying to figure out when these things had disappeared, but he couldn't understand. In his agony and struggle, he bumped into the corner of a table. A piece of paper fluttered to the floor in front of him. The bold words "miscarriage" stung Marcus's eyes. He desperately wanted to know why I had been pregnant, and why I had mysteriously miscarried. After pulling up the surveillance footage from the past 7 years, frame by frame, he didn't even dare to watch. Countless times I had tried to tell him, but he was only thinking about being intimate with other women, finding every possible excuse to brush me off. When I fell down the stairs and tried to call him for help, his phone was even turned off. I went to the hospital alone for the DC procedure, and fearing aged worry, I even wiped away the bloodstains on the floor. Marcus, the most cold and ruthless member of the mercenary unit, collapsed helplessly to the ground for the first time. He was filled with regret and despair. He even hated himself. Why hadn't he had the patience to let me finish talking, even finding me annoying and turning off his phone? Now, he called me over and over again. "Honey, it's my fault. I shouldn't have made you wait for me at home for so long. Please don't be angry, okay? I miss you so much. Will you come back and be with me?" "I won't go anywhere. I just want to stay by your side. You like children. So when you come back, shall we have another baby? Please, don't leave me. All calls went unanswered. The boomerang he had thrown over 7 years ultimately pierced his own heart. My communication devices had long been lost in the rubble, and this wasn't the only surprise I had prepared for Marcus, was it? The quickly repaired the broadcast system. After reconnecting the screen, my death replay appeared on the large display. This was a tradition of the mercenary unit. The life monitoring system on their wrists would record replays of each mercenary's fatal wounds before death. The purpose was for everyone to learn from the experience. My death replay continuously looped on the base's main screen, agonizing Marcus's nerves over and over again. I had saved him with my life. In front of him, my countless struggles and pleas for help had all been ignored, and in the end, he had personally shot me. Expressions of disbelief, anger, regret, and ultimately despair were fully displayed on Marcus's face. He broke down, shouting, "No, that could never be my honey. I would never fail to recognize my honey. She's just a medical team member. The boss would never allow her to participate in this mission. This video is fake. Someone deliberately fabricated it to try and break me and my honey apart." He began to indiscriminately fire his gun wildly. He wanted to kill anyone he saw. When I reached out to grab his leg back then, it was because I wanted him to clearly see the birthmark on my wrist. When was intimate, he loved to kiss this birthmark the most. He saw it, yet he remained indifferent. Perhaps having countless female companions over these 7 years had clouded his judgment, blinding him to the truth. Among countless bodies, he couldn't recognize which one was mine. Throughout those 7 years of our relationship, only I remained stubbornly deluded. I obsessively hoped that Marcus would turn over a new leaf for me, but rotten is rotten, and too little too late. Marcus frantically slapped himself. He slapped himself until his entire face was swollen and disfigured. Then he suddenly pulled a dagger from his pocket, and with it, he brutally chopped off the hand that had held the gun and killed me. He just stared blankly as blood gushed from his wrist. "Honey, just wait for me a little longer. I'll be with you soon." The guys present were too terrified to speak. Only then did they suddenly understand. Marcus, who had always claimed in front of them that he didn't love Grace, was a stubborn liar. When woke up in the medical team's infirmary, the medic angrily tossed a diary at his head. "Grace's diary, take a good look. I really can't understand why such a good girl like her would stubbornly cling to a man like you. You lost your memory." And she, a medic, fearlessly changed her profession to become some kind of mercenary, nearly losing her life, and still believed that as long as you were well, it didn't matter if she died. The current Marcus had no temper left. He sat motionless on the bed, asking with a trembling voice, "You mean, she became a mercenary for me? But why did she never tell me any of this?" The medic snorted coldly, indignant on my behalf. "Tell you? What good would telling you do? You didn't even remember her. How could you expect her to tell you? These are her last belongings. Take a good look. Only remained in the empty infirmary. Marcus says he doesn't remember me, but it's okay, I'll keep waiting for him. I've already waited 7 years, and even if he asks me to wait a lifetime, I will. I got hurt on a mission today. It hurts so much." Marcus was much more severely injured on missions before. He must have been in great pain. I wish I could share his burden. Marcus lied to me for 7 full years. He never actually had amnesia, and he secretly saw many other women behind my back. In that moment, I suddenly didn't want him anymore. She knew everything. I was lying about the amnesia, so why was she still so good to me, without even questioning me? He bit his lip hard, tears blurring my handwriting, one by one, crying already. The chief physician pushed the door open, his voice dripping with sarcasm. He tossed the medical records in his hand onto the bed in front of Marcus. "The rumored killing machine of the mercenary unit is nothing more than this, compared to what's in Grace's diary. I think you might prefer these." Hundreds of thick medical records detailed the injuries I sustained for him over these 7 years. Every single one was a life-threatening injury. Marcus frantically flipped through the medical records. Each word and sentence was a stab to his heart, each one a death blow. By the last page, only despair remained in his eyes. His gaze lingered on the last line, unwilling to move. It was a scar that had spoiled his intimacy countless times. "Grace has this terribly ugly scar on her waist. Every time I saw it, I felt like throwing up. But I had no choice. I still wanted to sleep with her, so I just had to put up with it. I had to pretend to coax her, tell her it wasn't ugly, even kiss it occasionally. Every night I'd wake up from nightmares. He had complained about it countless times to his buddies now. These complaints were like knives, brutally piercing his heart, making him wish he were dead. She never explained the reason for this scar to me. It wasn't that I hadn't thought about explaining. It's just that he was so good at pretending that I thought he could accept all my imperfections. Marcus weakly looked up at the chief physician. His voice was horribly hoarse. None of this is real, is it? The chief physician laughed, then slapped Marcus across the face. Sorry, it's all true. My most promising student, because of you, ended up like this, and now she's dead. Not even leaving behind a body, Marcus. The biggest regret of my life is letting my student go support you on this mission. Marcus's entire body stiffened, his pupils dilated. So she really did participate in this mission. Impossible, absolutely impossible. The words had barely left his lips when Marcus, without even bothering to put on his shoes, rushed out. He ran to the building, now a ruin, and desperately dug with his bare hands. His feet were bloody and mangled, and his palms were pierced countless times by rebar. Still, he didn't stop, searching frantically like a madman. Honey, just wait for me, I'll find you soon, I'll take you home, okay? He couldn't find me. I had buried 100 explosives beneath the building, enough to leave no trace of my body. The moment he saw fragments of my clothes deep within the rubble, light suddenly appeared in his hollow eyes. He used a detector to carefully collect my ashes, piece by piece, into a box, and brought them home. Everyone said Marcus had gone mad. Every day, he ate and slept holding Grace's ashes, refusing to let them go. Some teammates even saw him eat the ashes, his eyes held in bottomless madness. This way, I can be with my honey forever. That evening, Brittany approached Marcus's bedside. She wore his favorite black stockings and attempted to seduce him. Marcus, I know Grace's departure has made you very sad. Anything she could do for you, I can do too. Let warm you up, okay? Marcus choked Brittany, lifting her into the air. His voice was like a demon from hell, come to claim a soul. Fine, it's time to settle some scores with you. Brittany's face turned ashen. Marcus, what do you mean? Settle scores with me? I don't know anything. Grace's death has nothing to do with me. If you're asking who killed her, wasn't it she who was hit by the rock trying to save you? Wasn't it you who shot her yourself? Marcus's fingers tightened, wanting to strangle Brittany to death. Nothing to do with you? Then what's that white powder I extracted from the rubble and debris? How could I have something like that? Marcus, believe me, Brittany was violently thrown to the ground by Marcus. Marcus took out a knife and slowly began to carve into her face. Grace used a disguise and a voice changer. The situation was critical, and I truly didn't have time to recognize her, but she had every opportunity to explain to me. It was because you used that powder, making her lose her voice and unable to speak. The medical team's surveillance clearly shows you stealing the medicine. Brittany's face turned deathly pale. Everyone in the mercenary unit knew that Marcus was not only a killing machine but also a master, in his hands. Even a quick death was a luxury, Brittany confessed. Marcus still felt dissatisfied, tormenting her for a full 5 hours. Brittany's body was a mangled mess, flesh hanging loosely from her skeleton. She looked like a corpse. The moment Marcus was truly intent on killing her, Brittany, with her last remaining breath, spoke. Marcus, let me go, and I'll tell you where Grace went. The screen went dark. I casually tossed the personal monitor, its battery drained, into the trash can. Whether lived or died after that no longer concerned me. My injuries had mostly healed, and it was time for me to start my new life. Medical conditions in Africa were poor, so I resumed my old profession, becoming a medical team member. I originally thought life could continue peacefully, without incident, until one morning, I opened my door to find Marcus kneeling outside. He looked even more wretched than in the surveillance footage. When he saw me, a sudden light flared in his dull, lifeless eyes. Honey, it's really you. You're not dead. I've come to take you home. Will you come home with me? He desperately pulled out the ring and wedding dress, holding them out to me with both hands. Look, this is the new ring I custom made for you, and the wedding dress. I've brought them all. Marry me. If you like it here, I can abandon everything and stay with you, as long as you're happy and can forgive me. You can do anything to me you want. I only found it amusing. What's the point of all this now? Marcus, let me go. And I'll let you go. This is the best outcome for both of us. If you like kneeling, then suit yourself. I only have one request. Don't harass me. There was no point in saying more. So I walked straight past him and left. Marcus, not having received my forgiveness, dared not stand up. He crawled on his knees, clinging to my car door, refusing to let go. I pressed the accelerator, directly flinging him away. Marcus, crawling on the ground, was just as wretched as I had been when I was crushed beneath the rock. He was in utter disarray. News had already spread throughout the outpost. Have you heard? Marcus, the strongest guy from headquarters, has come to our outpost. They say he's chasing a woman. The boss didn't want him to come, but he threatened to die. He sold himself to Falcon directly, and fearing the boss wouldn't agree, he even took poison. Marcus worked for Falcon, yet he utterly despised the place, especially specially formulated poison. Once ingested, one must regularly take the antidote, or suffer excruciating pain. Marcus had truly gone mad. Afraid he would come looking for me again in his madness, I completely locked the front door and used a secret passage for entry and exit. But that night, he climbed over the balcony into my home. He had climbed up a 12-story building just like that. He knelt by my bed. He whined and begged like a dog, wagging his tail for me. Honey, I'm so cold. Can you hold me? Get out, I said, without a trace of warmth. I know you think I'm dirty, so I cleaned myself before coming to see you. Marcus's arms were devoid of skin, only raw, exposed flesh. I suppressed my revulsion and sneered coldly. What a pity, every inch of you is dirty. No sooner had I spoken than Marcus pulled out a knife. First, he castrated himself. Then he began to peel off his skin. He said he would scrape every part of his body clean. He said once new flesh grew back, I wouldn't find him dirty anymore. Honey, I'll do anything for you, please. Show me some tenderness, okay? I only love you. I never had any affection for those other women. I was just playing with them. With you, I'm serious. I was deadly tired. I locked him inside the room and left him to his own devices. Once stopped moving, I called the medical team to take him away. After all, his dying on my watch would cause me a lot of trouble. After woke up, he insisted it was my birthday and wanted to bake me a cake. No one from the medical team could stop him. They reluctantly came to me. I was even more helpless, because it wasn't my birthday today. I had no choice but to take him to see a psychiatrist. Marcus, this time, he really had lost his memory. His memory had stopped at the year he loved me the most. I sent him to the psychiatric hospital. Once inside, Marcus was extremely uncooperative. He single-handedly knocked out a dozen teammates and escaped to find me, just like before. He personally baked me a cake. It had been a long time since I'd seen this scene. Marcus used to be clueless about cooking, but after he learned I liked sweets, he specifically went to learn. After finishing the cake, he busied himself with housework. In that moment, it was as if the Marcus who had loved me back then had come back to life. Unfortunately, I was already dead inside, honey. I had a dream last night. In it, I was so terrible to you. You were so good to him. Yet he was unfaithful and even pretended to have amnesia to deceive you. I would never treat you like that. I used to be quite the playboy. But ever since I met you, I decided to clean up my act. You saved me from pain. You are my salvation. I genuinely wish I could kill him. I fell silent for a moment, then asked him with a smile, what if that him was you? Marcus froze, his gaze incredibly resolute. How could it be me? First off, I couldn't even manage not to love you, so how could I ever hurt you? Don't worry, I'll never hurt you. He paused for a moment before finishing his sentence. His expression turned incredibly serious. If that day ever truly comes, you should kill me yourself, see? Sometimes people can't even empathize with their past selves. To prevent Marcus from climbing in through the balcony again, outside the security bars, I installed several highly secure electric fences. After confirming everything was foolproof, I fell asleep peacefully. When I woke up again, everything was pitch black. Suddenly, I was shoved to the ground and forcefully kicked several times. Old wounds split open, and pain spread throughout my entire body. We've already sent a message to Falcon. Only Marcus is allowed to come for the rescue. Then we'll kill both of them. That way, Falcon will lose 2 key figures, and let's see how they dare challenge us after that. After the gruff male voice, a female voice responded with pleasure. Marcus will be taken back for the boss to deal with. As for this woman, she's mine to deal with. I'll make her life a living hell. I snapped back to reality. Brittany, what exactly do you want? The over my head was removed, revealing Brittany's skeletal face. Her face was contorted in a sneer, her eyes filled with nothing but pure hatred for me. What do I want? To kill you, of course. If it weren't for you, Marcus wouldn't have stopped loving me. He wouldn't have turned me into this mess because of you. Actually, I knew from the start that you were sent by the Falcon boss to secretly support Marcus. I deliberately didn't say anything. I wanted him to kill you with his own hands. Even when the sniper point was bombed back then, it was because I had a tracker on me and deliberately leaked the information. Have you ever considered that he might not even love me? I asked nonchalantly. And what if he doesn't come to save me? Let me die here as a pawn. Then use the base's location to track you down and wipe you all out. That made Brittany grit her teeth. She plunged a knife into my shoulder. I don't believe it. If he didn't love you, why did he go completely insane after you faked your death and left? For every minute Marcus didn't arrive, Brittany stabbed me again. At the 7th stab, Marcus kicked the door open and burst in. Brittany instantly flipped the knife and held it to my throat. Perhaps they had heard of Marcus's feat of single-handedly taking down an entire hideout. Their attitude became extremely cautious. Brittany forced a pill into my mouth, making me swallow it. She threatened Marcus with my life, demanding he implant their control chip into the control terminal. I screamed at the top of my lungs, trying to stop him, but remained indifferent. He did as he was told, as promised. Brittany fed me the antidote. She laughed wildly, believing their grand plan was about to succeed. The next second, while they weren't paying attention, Marcus executed an over-the-shoulder throw, slamming the 2 people restraining him to the ground. He picked up a gun from the floor. At the same time, I untied the ropes on my hands and delivered an elbow strike to Brittany. I successfully pulled out a dagger and freed my feet. Marcus pulled the trigger, shielding me with his body. Move 1 more inch, and nobody gets out alive. Brittany gritted her teeth. Marcus, it's useless even if you get her out of here. For all your calculations, you never accounted for our chip being specially designed, did you? In 10 minutes, it will completely fuse with your flesh and blood, and you'll never be able to escape our control. Want to remove it later? Dream on. Marcus said nothing, shooting Brittany in a vital spot. He grabbed my hand and we fought our way out. With 5 minutes left, he swapped his bulletproof vest with mine. With 2 minutes left, he took me to the rendezvous point. With 1 minute left, he held my hand and asked me to kill him myself. Once everything was settled, while cleaning up, I found a crumpled letter in the trash can. It was in Marcus's handwriting. The contents on it had been scribbled over many times. Grace, by the time you read this letter, I might no longer be by your side. Of course, if you still can't bear to let me go, I can choose to stay. As I write this letter, my memory has returned. I can't believe that the things that hurt you were done by my own hands. You can't forgive me, and I can't forgive myself by now. I no longer deserve to say how much I love you. What I can give you now is the freedom you desire. I want to return your world to you, so you can truly be yourself. I crumpled the paper again and threw it into the trash can. The past was truly in the past, the current me. That was a new beginning.